Let's be honest, most people won't say it out loud, but being friendless isn't always an accident. More often than not, it's the result of deep psychological habits, ways of thinking, feeling, and reacting that quietly block real connection. And no, this isn't about being shy or introverted. It goes much deeper than that. Here's what psychology reveals about people who often end up walking alone, even when that's the last thing they want. 1. They overthink every social moment. People who struggle to keep friends tend to analyze everything. They replay conversations over and over, wondering if they said the right thing, if their tone sounded off, or if they came across as awkward. It comes from what psychologists call hyper-self-awareness, a constant mental spotlight on how others might see you. It sounds like a strength, but in social life it's toxic. Because when your mind is busy analyzing, you stop being present. That tension shows, people feel it, and it creates distance, even when your intentions are warm. You're not being cold, you're just trapped in observation mode, watching interactions instead of experiencing them. 2. They can't tolerate fake behavior. You notice when people are pretending, the forced laughs, the attention grabbing, the drama. Once you see through it, you can't unsee it. Psychologists call this high social perception, a kind of emotional radar. But there's a downside. You stop playing the social games that others depend on. You don't fake interest, you don't flatter, and you don't pretend to care about meaningless talk. And in a world that runs on small talk and social masks, that kind of honesty can isolate you. People mistake your quietness for arrogance, your independence for pride, and your realism for coldness. They don't avoid you because you're unkind. They avoid you because your authenticity reveals their performance. 3. They're too self-reliant for connection. Most friendships thrive on shared emotions, support, reassurance, vulnerability. But emotionally self-reliant people don't lean on others. They regulate their own feelings, solve their own problems, and rarely reach out for help. That sounds strong, and it is. But it also blocks connection, because people bond through need. When you never show vulnerability, others subconsciously feel unnecessary, and over time, they stop trying to get close. You're not pushing them away on purpose. You're just too contained for others to feel needed. 4. They resist group mentality. Highly independent people don't follow trends or mimic the crowd. They question things, think differently, and speak bluntly. Psychologists call this low social conformity. It makes you stand out, but it also makes you stand apart, because people bond over sameness, not difference. While everyone else agrees, you're the one asking why. While everyone laughs, you're analyzing the joke. That honesty keeps you true to yourself. But it can also make you an outsider. 5. They struggle with emotional reciprocity. Here's something few will admit. Some people aren't bad at friendship. They're just bad at sharing emotions. They care deeply, but express it logically, not emotionally. They support others, but rarely open up themselves. In psychology, this relates to alexithymia, difficulty recognizing or expressing feelings. People may admire your reliability, but still feel disconnected from you, because friendship isn't just about being dependable, it's about being emotionally present. You're not unfeeling, you just process emotions privately. By the time you're ready to express them, the moment has already passed. Friendships rarely collapse overnight. They fade through tiny habits, slow replies, closed emotions, quiet distance, and an unwillingness to pretend. You become too self-aware, too detached, too sincere for a world that thrives on social noise. But here's the truth. Being alone doesn't mean you're broken. It means your mind values truth more than belonging. You can't fake connection. You can't water down your identity just to fit in. You stand alone. Not because no one understands you, but because few people match you. You don't need to change who you are. You just need to understand yourself. Because once you see how your traits shape your relationships, you'll stop asking, "Why don't I have friends?" and start realizing, not everyone is built to handle me. If you want to understand how your mind really works, not the feel-good version, subscribe. Because here, we don't do motivation. We talk about psychology, the kind that tells the truth.